Hi. So we're doing the studio tours today. Now, mother. Pasakay kami doon sa mga
Everybody. Now, you're not staying on, right, Jake? That was a joke. Oh, you are staying on. Folks, we got the best driver in Hollywood on board with us today. It's Jake. Everyone say hi, Jake.
Hi, Jake.
Hi, Jake. Jake will be taking care of us as we head into our 400-acre movie studio. This is the largest, oldest studio in Hollywood, and a very busy movie studio, actually. We got several different television shows set up there for filming. We may even encounter a quiet zone. We have Access Hollywood filming out there right now near our Amity Island attraction. So we have a lot of fun ahead of us today, but do we have any first-timers on board the tour? Anyone who has never been on board one of these things before? Show of hands. A lot of first-timers up here. I see some hands back there. Welcome, first-timers. We're very happy to have you on board. And what about birthdays? Anybody celebrating themselves? Or you just want to lie for attention? Both are fine. Back there in card two. Happy birthday. And happy birthday to you as well, sir. Well, folks, sit back and relax for now. We're going to start to close these gates. I will say one last thing. If you brought any little ones on board with you and their feet don't quite touch the floor of the tram, scoot them towards the center for their own safety. It gets a little bumpy out there. I want to make sure everyone stays safe. All right, folks, looks like we're just about to close these gates. Sit back, relax. We'll head out in just a moment.
I've been on that tour so many times since I was a kid, and I just love it every time.
The first time I ever went on Universal Launch, we did the tour.
I grew up in Los Angeles, and that was like the place to go and see Jaws.
I got my introduction to Universal Studios through the tour.
Those beautiful people still standing in line, and I have one more introduction for you, my co-host for today. You may recognize him from SNL or The Tonight Show hosted by Jimmy Fallon. You'll never guess, folks, it's Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it.
The Universal movie timeline. As we head down this pathway into our studio, you'll notice these movie posters off to our right-hand side. Just a few examples of the almost 8,000 films Universal has released over the past 110 years. But if we fast forward to 2025, we got some exciting stuff going on. First of all, building a roller coaster, Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift, set to open up next year, and we got a fun movie coming out later this month, Megan 2.0. We actually are releasing one today. It's June 13th, How to Train Your Dragon, a movie we'll return to in just a few moments. But as I mentioned, this 400-acre studio, the largest in Hollywood, is so long. A little glimpse at Hollywood history with Soundstage 12, as this is our oldest soundstage on the lot, constructed back in 1929, and it's been the filming location for everything you're now seeing on your screens. From our monster movies to Scarface to Back to the Future, Emmy Award winners, and streaming now on Max. But you see that there's a lot of business in these next two, 8 and 7. That's because what you're looking at here is the set for Bel-Air, our modern, dramatic reimagining of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Currently filming season 4 in here, and it stars Jabari Banks as Will and Ali Sholatan as Carlton. And as we round this corner, actually, look off to your left, you'll see some costumes hanging up right here. Well, this is wardrobe for the show, because this actually trailer right here is the wardrobe trailer for Bel-Air. You can look through that tinted glass door there and see just behind is the hair and makeup trailer. And these are the first two stops for the actors in the morning, right? They get to set, they immediately go into wardrobe, see what they're wearing for the day, go into hair and makeup right after. And then as we pull forward, you'll actually see a line of production trailers or star wagons down there. These are the kind of dressing rooms for the actors as they are on set, usually 12-hour days. Whenever they're in between setups, in between filming scenes, they'll hang out in those trailers. But Soundstage 14, again off to our left, used heavily by Bel-Air, but this is also a soundstage that Spielberg used heavily for Jurassic Park, a movie we'll talk about a couple more times today. But one of the more infamous scenes right after the T-Rex attack, where the Jeep comes crashing down through those tree branches as Dr. Grant and Timmy climb down the tree, filmed entirely inside of here. So from locations in Bel-Air to the jungles of Jurassic Park, our filmmakers can make all these different environments in these same spaces. But since we're just talking about Bel-Air, we do mostly television here on our lot. I have a TV show filming here based, you will see sound stages 16 and 17. And Most recently, we had Maya Rudolph in here filming for her show Loot on Apple TV. Of course, Maya Rudolph, Saturday Night Live legend, one of the funniest people alive. And then before Loot was filming in here, we had the show Based on a True Story, which stars Kaylee Cuoco from The Big Bang Theory. And word is actually, we're moving in a new TV show starring Jennifer Gardner here into these two sound stages. So far, it's untitled, but that is what we're currently building inside of here. And then the next two coming up off to our right, 18 and 19. About 2 years ago, we had Christopher Nolan filming in here for Oppenheimer. If you've seen the movie, the scene that takes place in the Oval Office with Gary Oldman playing Harry Truman and Cillian Murphy playing Robert Oppenheimer, that film right here. Though more recently, it's where we filmed for season 2 of Ted, a show we'll talk about at least one more time today. Created, of course, by Seth MacFarlane, but both Oppenheimer and Ted, they're more primarily known as films, and we do a lot of movies here as well. In fact, right now I'm going to welcome in the cast of our newest movie, How to Train Your Dragon, to talk to us about these gray buildings coming up now, off to our left-hand side.
Hey there, Studio Tour. I'm Jared Butler.
I'm Mason Thames.
And I'm Nico Parker.
You know, these bungalows to your left are actually production offices.
Home to some of Hollywood's biggest filmmakers, including Mark Platt, one of the producers of our new live-action movie, How to Train Your Dragon.
Everyone wave. We might be there right now.
And if you haven't already, be sure to meet the iconic and beloved Toothless over in the closet.
And see our movie only in theaters now.
But in the meantime, here's a sneak peek.
Everything we know about dragons is wrong.
All right, Bob, you ready? Watch out!
Signs out front, and you can see that this is all for St. Denis Medical, our medical comedy series starring David Allen Greer and Wendy McLennan Covey, building their entire hospital set within these two stages, 25 and 26. But folks, this is now where we cross the imaginary boundary from the front lot into the historic Universal backlot. More specifically, our Metropolitan sets coming up off to our left-hand side. Now, we're going to get a glimpse into New York Street, which is the heart of basically been a revolving door of productions over the past few months, from productions I can't even talk about to shows like Ted and Bel Air and St. Denis Medical. But you can see here off to our left a little glimpse into London Square. We're actually going to take a big loop around our city sets right now and come back through London Square. So when we do this, we're going to get a better look at New York Street itself. So I'm going to let Ginny Fallon show us around before we get there. And as I mentioned, these are some of the most popular sets on our studio. Now, we are going to get some glimpses into some of the business on New York Street off to our right-hand side. You can see very busy production vehicles everywhere. But specifically right now, we're in London Square. These yellow buildings off to our right, often transformed into the buildings of Parliament. But before I go further on productions, I actually want to talk about this illusion off to our left-hand side, this big painted building. Now, when we're up close to it, it looks just like what it is, right? A painted building. But this will often appear in the background of shots filmed on New York Street. And when you get a little perspective on this, put it in the background of your shot, it starts looking a little more like this on your screens right now. In the middle of the frame is the same painted building, but you can see you put stuff in the foreground in front of it, get a little perspective on it. It looks just like any of these other buildings, and it also serves as kind of a big canvas that blocks off what's just behind it, this grassy hill right here. Not really a metropolitan vibe, right? Well, off to our right, a different kind of jungle. So please welcome in Academy Award-winning director Peter Jackson as we head towards Skull Island.
It's the original King Kong.
There you go.
Maybe during movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old. I like films that just take you away from your real life monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times.
I'm actually going to have to hop in and interrupt for a moment because it looks like we're going to be making our way directly into Skull Island. So please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Feel free to take pictures and videos. Just make sure the flash photography is turned off. Lastly, hold on tight to all of your personal belongings. It's going to be a bumpy ride. And you can go ahead and put on those 3D glasses as we venture into Skull Island. Everybody, give it up.
The reality.
And that epic battle we all just experienced was brought to life by Weta FX. Now, Weta, they're one of the most respected visual effects companies in the world. They've won 7 Academy Awards and worked on films like the Lord of the Rings franchise, the Avatar movies, more recently doing all the creature VFX for the Last of Us television series. But that project was, of course, led by Peter Jackson, Academy Award-winning director. And Universal has a very long history of working with Academy Award-winning filmmakers, from Christopher Nolan to Jordan Peele to one of our favorites, and a guy we're going to talk about a couple of times today, Steven Spielberg, who not only got his start with us as a filmmaker at Universal in the mid-1970s, but it goes back even further than that, as he got his start with us actually as a high school student riding this tour in the early 60s. Check this out.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned a lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
Back in 2019, and it was entirely designed and spray painted by one person, LA-based artist Tristan Eaton, one of the most talented graffiti artists in the world, paying an incredible homage to the genre of films that started everything out for Universal, and a genre that we will be returning to in just a couple of minutes. Before we do, I want to briefly bring us back to the 21st century, because coming up off to our left, their soundstage is 30 and 31. You may see a very familiar logo there on the side of 30, logo for The Voice. A couple of weeks ago, we wrapped up season 27 over here with coaches like Michael Bublé, John Legend, and Kelsey Ballerini. But these next two, 32 and 33, first of all, this is where Jordan Peele likes to shoot when he's here on our lot. Filmed a little bit in here for us and Nope, his last 2 films. More recently, though, we filmed in here for season 1 of Reba McEntire's most recent sitcom, Happy's Place. You'll notice as well, though, there's this body of water just in front of these sound stages. This is the Hollywood Ocean, the location, of course, of the infamous Black Lagoon in our 1954 monster classic Creature from the Black Lagoon, starring this guy right here, our incredible Gilman. And we'll be returning to him a little bit later, but it is worth mentioning that Spielberg took a lot of inspiration from this movie when making his 1975 summer smash hit Jaws. And as we make our way now towards Amity Island, let's check in with Chief Brody.
Woody, Ivy. Sounds like amateur hour to me. Good luck with that one, Chief.
All right, well, all right, I can slowly start to come back now. I completely forgot about the Quiet Zone. Access Hollywood filmed us going through there. But, of course, Amity Island, this attraction built in 1976. In fact, this attraction, though it was built in 1976, it's not the oldest attraction on the tour. In fact, there was one that opened up just about 8 years prior in 1968, and it's our next stop. So please remain seated as we venture down to Old Mexico. And this is where, since 1968, we have been providing authentic Hollywood weather demonstrations to our guests. And our demonstration today is going to begin with some thunder and lightning. Now, thunder is normally added in as a sound effect. Today, though, we're creating it practically or in real life. But something we always create practically is coming up off to our left-hand side. Rain. Brought to life by an incredibly complex system of mechanisms called sprinklers. And the beautiful thing about sprinklers is, one, you can control where the rain falls, right? But two, these droplets are much bigger than rain that falls from the sky, so that the camera can actually see them falling. And, you know, it's funny. There's so much rain falling right now that it tends to build up and kind of create a hazard. So I do have to turn it off. Let me just press this button here. Hold on. The button is stuck. I can't turn it off. Cars 3 and 4, look off to your left. If you see any danger heading our way, could you make some noise so Jake knows that it's time to... That's what I thought, folks. It's a flash flood. Hold on, everybody. Thousands of gallons of recycled water draining under the bridge into a pump and getting sucked back up to the top of the hill, only to be released again and again. As you can see in the movie Big Fat Liar, starring Paul Giamatti.
I watched that.
You cannot run the ball, yeah, we'll see about that.
And just like Paul Giamatti's stunt double, we have been swept out of Old Mexico and into the Old West.
The Old West.
Welcome to 6 Points, Texas. 6 Points is our oldest set on the lot. The bones of this area were built all the way back in 1915. And since then, this has been the location of countless silent films, many iconic westerns, and more recently, an Academy Award-winning film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starred Leonardo DiCaprio and the great Margot Robbie. And normally, when productions film in here, it looks a little more like this. We'll bring in truckloads of dirt to cover the road and complete that Western aesthetic. More recently, doing this for the movie Call of the Wild, starring the legend. So between the 1920s to the 1950s, these were some of the most popular sets in Hollywood. But even after these monster movies began to fade away, productions continued filming here. This is also the Kingdom of Genovia and Princess Diaries 2, which starred Anne Hathaway. It was used frequently throughout the Pirates of the Caribbean films, and even in Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, which starred Brandy and the great Whitney Houston. But more recently, we transformed this place into the good place.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I have never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here.
All right, now first of all, coming up off to our left-hand side, you will see some lighting equipment, sound equipment, the art director's chair, right, kind of sketching out the shot before you try to get it on the day. Camera and monitor here next to car one as well. Then even hair, makeup, wardrobe, and craft services right here, snacks. But you'll notice these stairs on either side of us. These stairs actually do lead up to a second floor, which makes Soundstage 50 the only two. Okay, a little trimmer. We get those here in California. Nothing to worry about, folks. I think okay, all right, stay seated. It's gonna be okay, everyone. Watch out, car 3.
getting out of here. And congratulations, everybody. You all just survived Earthquake, the big one. Give it up for yourselves.
Street that'll be off to our left-hand side. Now, the Chicken Ranch is currently being used as a base camp for The Burbs. Once again, starring Keke Palmer, our new television show we're working on that's filming primarily on Colonial Street. Off to our left is the entrance. This is what it looks like on the inside, just a little suburban neighborhood, which is also where Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher filmed The Burbs. Now, reimagined in our new series. But coming up off to our left, you'll see this Hinkley Hills police car right here. And this is actually a picture car to be used in the show, kind of the neighborhood police car driving up and down the street. And it brings us to something that very important when making television shows and movies, picture cars, right? Any vehicle that appears on screen, whether that's in a commercial, a music video, a television. Guests around over 60 years here on the studio tour. Just next to it, some set-used Jurassic vehicles, from the Gyrosphere to the Jeep Wrangler Sahara, some prehistoric models, some live-action Flintstones. Back to our right, next to the Fry's Tech van from Nope, you have that blue Ford Anglia, the flying car from the beginning of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Back to our left, some Fast and Furious cars and two Transformers, Bumblebee and Barricade. And some of you may know that Barricade right there is a Decepticon. Well, she played Marion Crane, took this car to the Bates Motel before checking into room 1, the door next to the open office door, off to our right-hand side. And this Bates Motel set...
Yes.
Sorry, that's Norman Bates. And it's not that I'm
What's happening?
surprised to see Norman, it's just that Marion is in that room, right? I mean, her car is here, so I don't know what business he has in there. Okay, I do have the sinking feeling in my stomach, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk to...
What?
Oh no. Okay, everybody please listen to me. Take out your phones, take some pictures and videos of this, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my microphone because let me tell you, if he heard me, he heard me. Hey, Norman, nothing to... Okay, all right, let's go, Jake. Norman, we're good. Just maybe put it away. No, he's arms and legs inside the vehicle, everybody. He wants those. Norman? Norman, what are you doing? Norman! Okay. That was really close. Sorry, Car 4. Oh, it's weird. Actually used by Hitchcock in his 1960 masterpiece, but as we head away from one of our more infamous locations, I'd like to welcome you all to one of our more spectacular. This is the plane crash set from Steven Spielberg's 2005 sci-fi thriller War of the Worlds. This film starred Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning, and this is a real airplane. It flew commercially for several years before being happily retired all in one piece to an airplane graveyard, which is where, about 20 years later, the production team picked it up from, destroyed it, and then shipped it to this spot for filming in 2004.
The airplane was a crash site set is a perfect example of a set.
Work together to take an impossible mission and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Planet, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jude Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Share. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? What? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso Experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show.
This is a big blue wall and a concrete pit in front of it that can hold thousands of gallons of water. And this is where we will film big water sequences, from battleship scenes in Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk to the climactic sequence of The Truman Show to this scene from Clint Eastwood's film Sully, starring the great Tom Hanks. Every shot you are now seeing on your screens filmed entirely off to our right-hand side. Even that shot right there, filmed just off